What's up, beautiful people, to another episode of Conversations with Christian. Man, it's me, Ricky Jones Jr. We also have
O'Neal Delva in the building.
here for another episode. And obviously, we're happy that you are here with us as well. Yes. So, shouts out to you, applause to you, applause to you, applause to you. And as O'Neal has said to you before, don't be a hoarder of great, valuable information and good time. Share it with some other people because you know they need it too.
Yes.
If it's beneficial for you, it can be beneficial for them too.
I love it. Yeah, I love the fact that at times, like with these episodes or even scripture and such, you know, even with our talks, like how just like what you were saying, sometimes something that is said is beneficial to you, but then when someone is listening or watching the same thing, there might be a little takeaway that you did not hear that maybe didn't apply directly to you, but then they hear the thing like, oh man, like that was so good. Like you maybe potentially take that back to their like, oh man, I watched the episode. Did you hear when they said that? I'm like, no, I didn't hear that part because but you didn't hear when they said this, you know, because they were not solely focused on that one, but like maybe you hear something and then it stays with you. Yes. Almost like when you go to church and you hear, you know, the pastor speaking, at times it feels like whenever he's teaching,
he's talking right to me.
He's talking right to me.
How long? Right? Even with that, you may be hearing something and like you lock in on a thing, right? Yeah. It's like, oh man, he might say a sentence and you're like trying to figure out that sentence in your life, and you miss like another 10 minutes. And you're turning over a sentence. However, if you share with other people, y'all can have a full scope of what
but who knows? Maybe you going to church that was the one sentence you needed to hear. Granted, the pastor might be speaking for 30 plus minutes or maybe longer for some of the ones who are a little long-winded.
Full of information.
Oh, let's go with that.
You know what I'm saying? That's what it's all about.
But
at the end of the day, we're starting a community. We're building a community of believers, of Christians, of people that are open, honest, and willing to have conversations about things that matter. So that's why we're here. That's what we're doing. And today's topic is going to be fun, right? Just to even kind of fall into it. Do you have a costume, or are you going to wear anything for Halloween?
For Halloween. So for Halloween, am I going to dress up? I've tried in the past. I've tried to, nothing scary or anything like that. But I don't know. I usually just go as a dad.
Growing up, were you able to?
Nah, that was the thing. Like, so part of the conversation, knowing like the season that we're in, and so on and such. But growing up, we did not celebrate or participate or anything. Like I would see and I'm like, oh man, I want to do. And I mean, as we talk about today and our experience and such, like I have funny story, with my dad and so on. But long story short, with the answer, we didn't do anything and get a chance to participate.
Nor did I. Like it was to the point where that night we would be in the house, lights off. We understood what the business was. We not looking inviting at all because we have nothing to give. And so that's what it was until probably about 10th or 11th grade. There was a church that we were friends with, and they used to have like Hallelujah Festival or whatever. And my parents let me go there because they trusted the pastors and people there. So I was able to do it then. Prior to, I had to wait on my homies, my friends, the next day to kind of drop a little candy in my book bag.
Did they know? So it was like, Ricky didn't go?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
They knew.
They knew. So for me though, growing up, I came, and I think I've shared before in previous episodes and so on, like I wasn't born here in the States. I was born in Haiti, and I came here when I was 6. And I would see things like, okay, what the kids are kind of doing, what's the American thing to do? Like I don't really remember life in Haiti that much, but I don't think they did trick-or-treating and Halloween and all that other stuff. But while here, it's like, okay, well, once a year, there's this thing where people wait a minute, you go around and knock on people's doors and they give you what? They give you candy.
Hello, as a kid, that's golden.
Like, do you have to pay? Do you buy this? Right? Remember I shared about my story with the
Stilly. Little grab and go.
I love grab and go for my
cookies and cream.
Cookies and creams, Hershey's. I still love them to this day. But I don't steal them though anymore.
You don't have to.
I don't have to. You
didn't have to then.
I didn't have to.
So you don't. They stopped the mint ones. They used to do the mint ones. I don't know if you remember those. They were in the mint.
Yeah, I remember a little. But cookies and cream all the way. So yeah. But anyway, so continue. Like I could get cookies and cream for free, and I don't have to pay. So like I wanted to.
I think you're talking about your wife.
Wait, what?
Cookies and cream.
Oh, snap. Not this episode. tune in or go back, rewind, watch the previous one, maybe then. But no, anyway. You're crazy, bro. But yeah, so like I would see those things and I'm thinking like, I want to participate. But then my parents were like, no, we are not doing that. You are not doing that.
Yeah.
And we tried to do the thing of, shutting off the lights or whatever, but it didn't really work because they knew we were home. So the funny story, so my dad, like I would see him, and at times it felt like my dad would do more for other kids than he would do for us,
Perspective.
And that wasn't necessarily the case because he actually he taking care of us. We at the house daily. And that. Yes. But at the same time, like I'm like, man, he over here. So like when people would come, like they didn't buy candy, so my dad would give out money, and then word got out. Well, wait a minute, I can go over to that house and get money. He giving out ones, Then when the ones ran out, he giving out quarters. Like, I call my dad Poppy. I'm looking like, Poppy, what you doing that? You about to, if you keep giving money, people are going to come. They're going to feel like, oh, that's the place. That's the money house, And needless to say, we ran out of money.
Hello.
So then by that time, like, sorry, there's nothing else to give. We didn't start giving like ramen noodles and apples and stuff. Yeah. We didn't do any of that.
Gotcha.
But then he kind of said, like, I'm sorry, I don't have any more. But then after that, I got a little bit older. And I want to say they weren't as strict as far as like, no, don't go trick-or-treating or anything. But it was already in me. Like, we already knew like,
that's not what we do.
Like that's not what we do. Like kids will go out and get candy or whatever. And then I'll get it from them.
Yep.
We didn't have Hallelujah Night or anything like that.
Right.
When I was younger.
Yeah.
And then, maybe later on as certain churches like started to... In the Haitian community, like, I don't believe they do that, down there. But, like, the American, like, churches, whatever, like, they would start to do certain things. But even then, like, I was already a little bit older and already grown or whatever. We'll touch on about me and my kids and stuff, but, I'll give you a chance to kind of share a little about your experience as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, we wasn't doing it at all. Like I said, lights off, turn all lights off in the front of the house. We would live life on the back end because you couldn't see it from the street. In the house I grew up in, we lived in a cul-de-sac. So you couldn't see nothing in the back. So we would watch TV in the back room and things like that just to show the world not coming to the front. This was before like Ring cameras and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, people knocking. And And then I get no action in my house, right? That's just what it was. But
so what were y'all doing the whole time? So, was your house big enough to where you would turn off the light in the front but still have a room somewhere where y'all so
could be in the back.
This is all happening outside, right?
Absolutely.
And what are y'all doing in the house and where are you in the house?
We're either in the back is where we are, but like my parents' room was in the back. We had a den downstairs that was to the back, and we was either watching TV together or we just went to sleep. Most times we went to sleep because it was better. It was better to go to sleep than to keep hearing the knocking.
Yeah,
knowing the kids out there getting candy, having fun.
You ain't participating.
At best, I could peek through the window, but then you go see some little peep action. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I don't want that follow.
Yeah,
want nobody to be like, I know you in there, because that was the time when people was talking about they didn't get candy. Right? They'll either egg your house or they'll TP.
Toilet paper.
We didn't have any.
You didn't have all. Thank goodness,
God. Because my mom and dad probably were ballistic, but that was that's what it was. And
wow!
So I already knew. I was just ready for the discounted candy the day after.
Yeah. So do you believe? Okay. Well, you had asked me earlier about dressing up, and now I'll ask the question. But what about you? Are you dressed up, or have you?
No, I don't dress up. I'm stuck on the idea personally that I choose not to celebrate the holiday.
Yeah.
I believe you can celebrate in various ways. You can participate in the actions that are being done.
Yeah.
That's celebrating. You can dress up, and that's celebrating.
Yeah.
You can partake in whatever other activity, because there's so many different conspiracy theories and talks and words of what's actually taking place on that day. But in it all, but then I married Crystal, right? And Crystal's like, oh, let's just have fun with the kids, and we have Halloween night at the church, and they want to dress up So
and actually, what you're saying kind of leads to the question I was going to ask. I was going to say, what do you believe your stance on as far as believers, right, a Christian and Halloween, celebration in a sense, or participating in any form of Halloween related action or events or whatever. So But yeah, but I was going to answer that.
No, that's a touchy one because as I said and as I believe it's you shouldn't do it, right? Yeah. And even like, the church, we call it Hallelujah Festival and things like that, which, I feel like it's just a spin on Halloween. Like maybe call it Fall Festival. Like just to even totally rethink the thought of what it is. And I would even say like Fall Festival is a whole lot better than Hallelujah Night. But, because words mean everything. Because at the end of the day, we may say Hallelujah Festival. However, a kid may say, I'm going to Halloween at the church. Right? They but so... Why confuse? Why leave anything to chance? Just call it something different. There's that. But even I was driving to the grocery store the other day, and Rain was in the back talking about she want to dress up and all this stuff. And I'm like, man, bump that, man. That's not for us. That's not for believers, man. That's for the pagans. That's for the heathens. That's for the people that's not believers. And I'm going in on her. She was like, I just want to go to church. I said, okay, we can go to church. See it that way. So that's where I'm at with it. Like, I think it is cool that the church gives an alternative to it, right? Because as kids, we know we did have a desire to be amongst what's going on in the world and amongst our friends. But I think the church does a great job in allowing for space and opportunities for believers to come together when necessary. And this is a night in which it is necessary, Halloween night, as it is on the calendar. It is necessary for kids to have a space to go to that they can feel safe in, but then also fulfillment in, right? And you're going to get plenty of candy when you come to our church and things like that. And so I'm cool with that aspect. But at the same time, I don't want my kids to feel like, it's something that has to be done on this day.
Yeah. So one of the things that I love about our conversations, right, where I get a chance to, because, I know you, of course, but, certain things we talk about regularly, certain things we, I find out during our, talks and so on and so forth. And, things that I stand firmly and believe with you. And at times there's certain things like, I see your viewpoint, but I'm like, okay, but I can kind of see it a little differently as well. So it's good where we can kind of bounce ideas or topics and different things off of each other and whatever. And I'm with you, with what you're saying. One of the things that I strongly believe in and I love is knowing the origin of a thing, right? Like knowing the history. Now, I don't know the full history of Halloween, like, how it got started and so on and so forth. But I think sometimes we do things without necessarily knowing where it came from originally. We just do it because everyone else is doing it, right? Like, for example, sagging your pants, like, depending on who you talk to, or like, where did it start? Sagging your pants, they'll say it started in the jail as a sign to mean I'm available. Hello. I'm open to certain things or whatever. Pun intended. Oh my gosh. But certain things, but then people do those things again, not knowing where it started or whatever. So I like to know the origin before really jumping in or doing certain things or whatever. And then I'm also like, I'll see things where at times it's good for you to, or people will take things and not spin it, because I don't want to use the word spin where it sounds bad, but turn it or repurpose it for something different, right? For a positive. So for example, certain words that people would say, right, that was meant to be like hurtful, but then people turn it around to turn it into like a term of endearment or a term of positive or whatever. Certain words I wouldn't say, like the B word or whatever. That was,
that's the first thing came to mind.
Because it was originally meant as, female dog or this or that, like someone who's, out there and everything else. But then I hear
girls saying it to themselves.
Saying to themselves, I'm a boss B, I'm a this, I'm a that,
that's my B,
like, it's on TV and all that stuff. You're like, damn, we need to slow down with that right there, whatever, like, girl, but anyway, they've taken that word to make it like as a
term of endearment,
or represents strength or whatever, or even the N word or whatever, right? Like where with the hard ER, very offensive, like it was meant, even meant as a word of like to tear someone down, but then like the twist in the black community to like say is okay, well, what was meant to be hurtful to us, we have now turned into something that's like, quote, I'm using air quotes, positive or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, so in a sense, kind of like with Halloween, since, kind of staying on topic, whatever the origin was as the bad thing, like I can kind of see the church's, stance on the switch. Like, you know, like, okay, kids want to have fun. They want to, you know, kind of, you know, dress up or whatever. Or even at schools, I don't even think schools call it like Halloween or like allow the kids to dress up. They call it a storybook parade or whatever.
Yes.
Where then you pick a character from a book,
yes,
and you dress up as the character from the book. Yes. Nothing scary, no Jasons, no this and that. Maybe unless the book is about Jason, I don't know. But nothing crazy, but, you know, kind of like repurposing that thing to still allow the kids to have fun. But then, you know, we're celebrating really this versus that or whatever. You know what I mean? So like, I can kind of see it.
That's what sparked the conversation with Rain and I. Like, she was like, I need a costume for the storybook parade and one for Halloween. And I'm like, bump that. You know, that went a little.
I can see you doing that.
And so, to your point, I even love what you were even saying to that, which I forgot what it was because I went on that mini tangent of. I went back to, we were driving the car where what I said and what she said. But in all in all, man, I think it's pretty. Oh, that's what it was. To your point of the origin. Do you know, you said you do or you don't know?
I don't know the origin of Halloween and so on.
There was a gentleman that was actually on Pastor Dollar's TV show. And he was a ex-satanic worshiper, and now he's a Christian. He's a believer. He switched over. He converted, and he shared what the origins of Halloween is, which I'll put a link for that video down below.
That's good.
I don't want to too much get into it because I don't remember it all, but it's definitely. It'll definitely make you think like, oh snap, whoa. So definitely check that video after this one. You should definitely check it out too.
Yeah, definitely.
It was definitely eye-opening to me and just reminding me like, no, there's certain things for certain people, and you know what I'm saying, like, you know, and for each his own, right?
Yeah, I agree. And you know, like even, I mean, we're talking about Halloween, but you know, Valentine's Day probably started with a massacre of some sort of something bad or other things that we, you know, it's good in my opinion to see. Like for Halloween, for example, right? I'm not recognizing, I'm not celebrating because it could be any time, you know, but it would be kind of weird though for someone to go knock on someone's door randomly and on Thursday, October 1st or whatever.
Maybe Monday.
To, you know, to ask for some candy or whatever it might be, you know what I mean?
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. But just to go and ask for some, well, we don't do that. But, you know, I don't believe in going door to door to people's house, you know, strangers. The day and age in which we live in right now.
Even back then.
Man, you know how many times you watch the news and then something happens with a neighbor like, oh, I would have never expected. He was so nice and they were so quiet. I would have never expected that was going on in that house, whatever. You know, or it's like a sibling like, oh, I didn't know. You don't know people as well as you think you know them. You know what I mean?
So it's like, going on in their mind.
Yeah, a lot going on in their mind or whatever it might be. So all that to say, like, I mean, we don't participate in that and go to the door to door. We don't dress up, you know, as far as, but I'll if it's connected to a book or, you know, kind of church or whatever, like, you know, just something silly. Like one year we let the kids dress up. The girls was peanut butter and jelly, you know?
They're twins.
Yeah. So one was a peanut butter, one was jelly, whatever it might be. Or, you know, I want to say one year they did. But did they do salt and pepper? You know, things that kind of go together or whatever, you know? So, like, little things just so that they can have fun or whatever. But we're not recognizing, acknowledging, have upside down Star David and, you know, whatever other things, you know, that they're, you know, all that other stuff. We definitely don't do any of that. So,
I mean, even to the point. So here's the other part about being a believer, right? Being a Christian and differentiating yourself from others. It's not so much that we don't do what we do because it's bad and not to be like them. Just think deeper to the thought or the thing or the topic or the place that you're saying, I don't want to participate in anymore. To the point of the topic of today, which is Halloween, you can choose not to do it because one, it's technically not safe to just go to people's houses, knocking on their doors and receiving whatever it is they put into your bag. It's not good. There's a reason why it happens at night. Right? Because you can cover a lot of stuff at night. That's not good. It just doesn't make sense. You wouldn't do it November 1st, go over there asking for something and whatever they put in the bag, you're happy to get it and you go home and eat it. It don't make sense, right? And then secondly, you are going out there. Sometimes parents take their kids knocking door to door, trick or treating, or sometimes they don't. Like, what sense does that make to send your child off into your neighborhood to just go walking around? People know. People that pry on kids know that this is a day in which kids are sometimes out free, and you could loosely lose your child because you're just letting them go out there by themselves. Reason number 2, why it just don't make sense. Number 3, candy's bad. Candy's bad for your teeth, okay?
Candy's bad, but candy's good.
Here's a witness, I'm a witness. I have had so many cavities in my mouth, right? What? I probably have about 6 or 7 or 8 crowns in my mouth.
Wow.
Like, I've had so much dental work. So much dental work to the point where my parents said, we're not getting you braces because we spent so much money on them teeth. Because I used to eat candy so much. And it was a time in which I didn't like brushing my teeth because I didn't like the taste. I didn't taste of my mouth. So I was doing detriment on detriment.
So I see.
So to say candy is bad in that respect, right? So just thought number 3. But then thought number 4, like, for what? For what? Why are we doing it? Like, a week before, you was telling your kid not to eat all this candy, but now they gonna come home with a bag full of candy. What you gonna say?
Bro, you know what?
You get 1 piece today.
It's funny that you mentioned that because sometimes we do things where it's like, it's a waste, like you're saying. You know, I mean, as far as the candy, where they come, this big bag of candy, you know, for we like Hallelujah night or whatever, or trunk or treat or whatever, you know, at the church. Or one year, many years ago, my wife took the girls to like the mall or something, and they had something where they got candy there. They've never gone door to door to get candy from you know, strangers or whatever. But then pillowcases, all this candy, they want to eat it all right then and there. Tonight, we ain't waiting.
Tomorrow's not gonna come.
They're like, no, you know. So, but even like around Easter too, we would have where it was like a lot of candy, and they eat it a little at a time, and then 6 months later, we'll have them put in the refrigerator so like bugs or whatever don't come. We got all this candy that we end up throwing away. I look like for my cookies and cream, put that to the side. I like, you know what else I like? Have you had like the white Kit Kat? Growing up, I hated Kit Kat because I was in an after school program. Like, the way that they rewarded us was with Skittles and Kit Kat. Every day I would get Skittles and Kit Kat.
But I mean, you did good. You was a good kid.
I was for them. I knew what to say and what to do to get that candy. So then, you know, but then I
white
hated
chocolate Kit Kat.
But yeah, now I'm on that.
You like white chocolate?
I do like white chocolate.
Try the white chocolate Reese's.
The white chocolate Reese's?
Yeah, they have those now.
I probably should give it a go.
You should try it. I mean, like based off of your 2 other white chocolate.
I do like white chocolate. So yeah.
Your point is waste.
Yeah, but yeah, we do kind of, you know, waste a lot and so on and so forth. But yeah.
So I just gave y'all 4 reasons why you're okay with not doing it. Just think, right?
Yeah. But I would say, you know, of course, don't, in my opinion, don't beat yourself up too much and try to be in the world or of the world or do what other people are doing. Yeah. But at the same time, I would say for me, do things for your family, right? Yes. To help make your kids happy, right? Where to know, like, how can I put a smile on my child's face today? Maybe you don't go trick-or-treating and buy the candy or whatever, but you know what? The day after Halloween, that candy gonna go on sale. So, honey, you want some Halloween candy? Wait till November 1st. I'll buy it for you at 75% off, and then we can enjoy it together or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, maybe just to figure out different ways that you can put a smile on your child's face. Or, you know, Hallelujah night or whatever. If you attend that, you know, nothing wrong with that in my opinion. Like, you know, going to Hallelujah night to be around other believers and other people who, as a way to potentially, non-believers too, they come, and then that's your way to potentially minister to them, right? To talk to them about God, about, you know, your church or about whatever it is, you know, where you are in your, you know, faith walk and so on, to help encourage them. Maybe, you know, they were of the, you know, satanic belief of some sort, but then, like, okay, to know, like, oh wow, church is opening their door and doing this and taking it and, you know, providing a different view to this. Like, all right, well, let me go check that out and find out, and is a way for you to minister to somebody and is a way for someone to get delivered, right? That's my opinion, you know, of course, that. And so something else, you know, not to take us completely off topic, but thinking along the lines of, you know, Halloween and, like, you know, scary and horror and so on and so forth. Like, you know, do you watch? Do you like scary movies, or are you like, nah, we ain't letting that in the house and this and that and so on? So, you know, kind of tying it all together or whatever. So, like, where are you with that, with like horror, movies and potentially scary things and so on?
The funny thing is, I used to enjoy scary movies, right?
Yeah.
But then I married Crystal, and she's anti-scary movies. She does not watch any scary movies.
Because she's scared, or because she doesn't like want to let that spirit in the house?
No, I think it's because she doesn't want to be scared. Like,
okay.
Like she doesn't choose that option to be scared.
Okay.
And so it's like, cool. Therefore, I don't watch scary movies. I'm not gonna watch them by myself for what? The fun part to me about watching scary movies is to watch them with others, to watch people jump, to see who's jumping, to see who's flinching, and things like that. So just me, myself, and I watching it's like, that's dumb, right? I would be scared by myself, because scary movies that get very interesting. And so even to your point of before, when you asked me what's your favorite scary movie, I had one because I used to watch them. If you were to ask me that now, as far as like a recent one, I couldn't tell you.
Oh, really?
Right?
Yeah.
Because I couldn't even tell you the last scary movie I actually watched because one, again, because of Crystal, but then two, I do believe that within those movies is a spirit of fear.
Yeah.
Right? And I believe that when you watch those, you're opening yourself up to receive that spirit, and that's not one in which we should have as believers, right? God said, I did not give you the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind, right? And so in that and with that lets me know, okay, well, avoid the opportunities for fear, right? There was times where I would go to a haunted house and things like that in college, and just different, like in Six Flags in Atlanta, they used to have a thing called Horror Nights, not Horror Nights, I think that's Busch Gardens.
Well, they have, I think that Hollow Scream or something here.
But so we had something at
Universal has something Horror Nights,
And I've gone there like twice, and it was just crazy. Like you just run around screaming, people chasing you and things like that. It's like you look back, it's like it's an adrenaline rush, but it's dumb at the end of the day. Like, bro, like this is what you're doing. But
but it's funny though. I like it though. But go ahead, continue.
Yeah, like say what you got to say.
No, I was gonna say that. So
I don't want to diss it. And then
no. You're good. You're good. Like what's that mean? You what you believe and so on.
Yeah.
And of course, and I agree as far as we have to be mindful of what we take in, like our eye gate, ear gate, so on and so forth. Like because different messages and things, what Satan was, minister of music, right? Like so like sometimes we hear certain things. And we aren't necessarily paying close attention to what is being transferred in, but it's seeping in, right?
Absolutely.
Like the enemy is finding ways to come to us, whether it's through what we hear and what we see and so on.
What we touch.
But what we touch. But it's always good to be guarded and and such as well. But in my opinion, too, at the same time, it's good for us to live and have fun, right, and kind of enjoy the moment, right, but then of course not
whatever fun means to you.
Whatever it means to you, but then not opening yourself up to take full in like, oh, take me or whatever, horrible spirit and this and that. But like I like to go to like Halloween Horror Nights or Hollow Scream, whatever. Not for the scary stuff that's there, but kind of going back to what you mentioned before about scary movies and such. But I like going there because I am laughing the entire time because of the people who you are with, I'm with, and how scared or whatever they are, right?
So you're in it for
the people around, for the fun, for the like running and like laughing and whatever else. But I'm not there to like give glory or praise or whatever, like, oh man, this is such a beautiful gory scene, oh I love the way that the hand is just dismembered and this and that, whatever else. I'm over here literally, I'll go with my kids. Jessica doesn't really do anything like that. When we first met many years ago, we went to one, and then she doesn't do roller coaster rides, she doesn't do scary things, she doesn't do certain things. One of my daughters, similar, where she's scared of almost everything. But the other one, she wants to be like dad, like a little bit brave and do certain things. So like we will get a group of her friends and we'll go together. But like they're over here running and screaming and I'm laughing and stuff, like with them. But again, not necessarily kind of like there for the scene and the this and the that, but it's there to like laugh and the gory and all the other stuff, the blood, but I'm there to laugh with my kids. Yeah. So yeah.
I mean, I'm not mad at you, right? If you can have fun in that setting, then have fun in that setting. However,
it could be any time though. It doesn't necessarily have to be Halloween. Like let's say Busch Gardens had October, or I keep on saying October 1st for some reason.
You said that's who?
But that's my niece's birthday, so I don't know why people go on October 1st. But anyway, any time of the year, if it's something that's, you know, kind of like potential, you know, fun or whatever, I might go. But going back to the scary movie question or comment.
Yes. Do you watch those?
Well, sometimes I'll do certain things and I'm like, why did I agree to this? Why am I here?
I feel like that when I ride roller coasters. Like,
why
when
am
I get to the top, I'm like, oh my God.
Why did I decide to do this?
Oh my God.
So like, I'm not really someone who gets excited about and go and watch scary movies. Like, I've never been like that. I've watched them, but then like later on, I'm like, you know, kind of sometimes you watch it with a squint, you know, like I see it, but I don't see it at the same time.
Just in case.
Yeah, I don't like certain things. Like I don't like the psychological or like the ghosts in certain like movies because
like paranormal.
Yeah, it's like it's too real, you know. Like Chucky and whatever else, or even like Jason, you know, like that's not scary to me or whatever. But like I know, so growing up, I watched The Sixth Sense, right?
Yes.
And there are scenes in that movie that got me, man. I was like, was I in middle school? I think I was either middle school or high school, ninth grade.
I never watched it. I've seen it.
You never seen? Yeah.
No,
like,
I've heard about it.
I think part of the thing for that movie, I didn't want to go. Like my friends wanted to go, and I wanted to hang out with my friends. Yep. So then they went, and there are some scenes in there, and in the movie that got me. Like there was one particular scene where there are people who, I mean, I'm not real. It's not spoiler alert. I mean, the movie's from the 90s or something.
Check it out.
So it's like really old, so it doesn't matter. But there's a scene where someone had died in the house, and the kid heard banging on the door, like, do, let me out of here, let me out of here, boom, 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 like screaming and so on, and like that got to me. I was like, oh my gosh, like that was scary.
Gotcha.
But the movie that really got me, where I could not go to sleep, I legit had all the lights on in my room. I was in college at that time. It was The Ring. Do you remember The Ring?
Oh, yes. I actually watched that by myself in the dark in the lighting store.
In the dark?
In the dark.
By yourself?
I didn't finish the movie.
Why?
Because I saw that it was a thing and I had to wait till my parents went to sleep.
Bro, that movie was so disturbing to me. Like, I was like, yeah. And then the girl coming out the TV.
And that's when I turned the TV off. That's the only image I have of that movie.
Bro.
Her like crawling
out of the TV.
Boom. I went to sleep. So that was your movie. This was my movie. Leprechauns in the Hood.
Leprechauns in the Hood?
I was so scared, bro. I was so scared of leprechauns. I was scared, bro. I was scared so much so that I told my parents, hey, because the way that house was set up.
That is hilarious.
You go upstairs, the same house during trick-or-treating. You go upstairs, go to the left is where the bedrooms were. There was a room, which was mine, and there was another room, which was a spare, and then my parents' room. After watching the movie, I said, hey, I need to move back. I can't be the first room that somebody would come to when they come to our house. Like, I was so scared.
Leprechaun in the Hood.
You saw that movie?
Yeah, I actually watched it with, like, my son or whatever, and he was younger, too, and we were kind of laughing at it. Sometimes when you look back at things, you do kind of just laugh. Would you watch it now and laugh at it?
I would watch it now because it looks probably so crappy.
It looks crappy, bro.
I saw like,
it
was like new and hot, bro.
Yeah.
It was hot in the streets.
Oh, my gosh.
I was so scared.
That is hilarious. Leprechaun in the Hood. Yeah.
So
if you're still watching with us, drop and let us know what is the scary movie that got you or whatever, right? If you're still here, let us know. We want to find out a little bit. It was The Ring for me because it was really psycho. The Sixth Sense and The Ring because it's very disturbing. But Leprechauns in the Hood, you could just kick it.
Bro, I was
just like
the height of
Chucky.
the leprechaun, bro.
I guess just like Chucky to me, like you just kick the doll.
I never saw Chucky.
You never saw Chucky,
Mm-hmm.
but you know what it's about. It's like
I know.
Possessed doll that comes to life.
I knew the idea. My parents was definitely anti, and I was respectful for that. They didn't know about the ring, so that's how I was able to like slip in,
bro,
to watch that. And Leprechaun in the Hood, I think I watched it with a homie at his house, and that did it, bro. That did it. I was like so fearful, probably for about the next 7 years.
Are you for real?
Actually, to the point where I was like scared of somebody breaking into the house. Like, it just spiraled. But that's the thing, bro. That's the thing about scariness.
Wow.
It just spirals to other stuff.
True.
So it's like when you open yourself, even if you talk about you open yourself to a thing, then you open yourself to the fullness of that thing. So much so that even, to get a little biblical, there was a case in which an individual was possessed with a demon. And he was cleansed. They were cleansed of that. And the demon says they're going to come back with 7 times the amount of demons that were there before if preoccupation? No. If the dwelling place of the soul, the mind wasn't preoccupied. So, it's just all that to say, like, bro, you open yourself up. You don't know how much more is going to come. And, I say all that to say, like, just be mindful of what you're watching. Be mindful of what you're listening to. Be mindful to what you're taking in. Be mindful of what you're saying yourself. Because in it all, with it all, you're receiving, right? And you may not want to receive what it is that you're opening yourself up to. So, just be mindful is ultimately what I'm saying. And of course, as I believe, and as you know how I believe what you believe and know what you believe. And filter your life through that belief. So, do what you do, but don't get cavities.
Don't get cavities. Don't be like
somebody got to pay for them. Yes.
Yeah.
Bro, I've had my share. And I'm working through something going on the right side right now.
Are you ready for dentures?
No, I actually asked the dentist. I said, hey, bro, can I just get it? They're like, nah, you can, but it's not going to be as strong as your
The veneers are looking right, though. When you
they
see
do. But the veneers are over teeth, right? It's not like a veneer of or nothing, right? That's
veneer that thing. Bro, just veneer that thing.
Yeah, nah, I'm good, bro. I'm
just
good.
Get them chiclets, veneer that thing.
See, I knew you was going to go there. I knew you wanted to do something. I knew it, and I was not going to give it to you, but you took it yourself.
I took it myself. I don't know if they still do little square chiclet.
I was not going to give it to you, bro.
Yeah, you got to put them things, them chiclets. Get them Steve Harveys. You'll be good.
I like Steve Harvey. I like Steve Harvey. He's a great inspiration. But, with that being said, as believers, if you're not necessarily if your kids are like yearning and desiring to do something that night, and you know that if they don't do something, it just will ruffle the feathers and cause unnecessary frustration, find a church near you. Find somebody that is somebody that you trust, that you're willing and capable and able to getting them to a place that's safe and they can enjoy another night, right? Not putting emphasis on the title of the night as the calendar says, but it's another night where candy and fun and excitement takes place, and just rock it out that way. That's what I've surmised things to.
No, I agree with you 100%, bro.
Because, especially at our church, we do it. I would hate for the kids to come on Sunday, other kids talking about the night, and then my kids looking at me like, Dad, it was church, my friend, yada yada.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that guy.
No, I agree 100%. Yeah, don't have too much more to add. Yeah, seeing it as giving them a chance to enjoy a night, right? Not necessarily that night, but just give them a chance to enjoy, a night. Yeah, I like that.
Boom shakalaka. So with that being said, as Anil said, do what he said. If you missed it, go back and listen to it. But with it all, in it all, subscribe if you haven't already done so thus far, and or lock in to us and with us on your favorite podcasting platform, because we will be there every Tuesday and Thursday and any other day that the Lord leads. So until then, love you all. See ya.